Okay. Now please tell me what we were discussing in the last class.
Ma'am, investment function.
Okay. So have I told you that there are two types of investment, autonomous and induced investment through the diagram?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we are talking about two sector economy, okay, we define GDP or income as C plus I. I told you about did I told you about the multiplier?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just trying to revise it a bit, we were saying that Y is equal to C plus I in the two sector economy. And if it is a three sector economy, so we will have Y is equal to C plus I plus G. Okay, that's how you define your economy. So in the Keynesian system, in the Keynesian income determination model, because we are talking about Keynesian income determination model, delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta I if it is a two sector economy. Delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta I plus delta G if it is three sector economy, and delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta I plus delta G plus delta X minus delta M if it is four sector economy. Okay, now the process of income determination depends on the multiplier process. In the Keynesian system, the process of income determination depends on the multiplier. That is, what you are saying is delta Y depends on value of multiplier okay, and you are saying that value of multiplier depends on marginal propensity to consume. See, whether we are talking about 2-sector economy, 3-sector economy, or 4-sector economy, value of multiplier will always depend on marginal propensity to consume, that is MPC, or in some cases it is shown as B, in some cases, in some books it is shown as alpha. So this is marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to consume means delta C by delta Y. So the value of delta Y will depend on the value of delta C by delta Y. Now, can anyone tell me what is multiplier? If you remember, how do you define multiplier?
Ma'am, it is the change in income due to the change in the investment.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to define this?
Value of multiplier depends on MPC.
Okay. This is not the definition actually. When you say definition, or when I say define multiplier, so multiplier is a process which explains the impact of change in income due to the change in any determinant of income such as taxes, investment, government expenditure, exports, imports, etc. given MPC. Okay, so that's how we define multiplier. So multiplier is a process which explains the impact of change in income due to the change in any of the determinant of income. And what are the determinants of income? Determinants of income can be investment, can be government expenditure, can be taxes, can be exports, imports, can be transfer payments, can be autonomous consumption. So all these variables determine the level of multiplier or the value of multiplier. And then in short, you say that the value of multiplier depends on MPC. In other words, there is another way to define it. In other words, multiplier is a process to explain the change in income due to the change in any of the injection or leakage variable given the MPC. Are you all able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So please pay attention to these two terms, injection and leakages, leakages or withdrawal. So you remember that when you say injections, so what are the variables which results in injection? Injection variables, you will say. Injection variables, as you remember, I, G, X, or transfer payments or C0. These will be injections. Withdrawals, you remember? Savings, taxes, imports. So these will be withdrawal variables. So any change in the injection variable or withdrawal variables bring a change in income. And the process is explained through multiplier, which operates through the MPC, the marginal propensity to consume. Okay, any question so far? Any doubt?
In the last class, we studied that multiplier is equal to 1 upon 1 minus MPC. So 1 minus MPC will be equal to MPS. So we can say that multiplier is equal to 1 upon MPS also.
Very good. Yes, we can do that. Like, see, you are saying multiplier. So multiplier, how do you calculate the value of multiplier? 1 upon 1 minus MPC or 1 upon MPS. This is only the value of multiplier. Okay. Remember, this is not delta y. But when you say delta y, so delta y is equal to K multiplied by delta I or K multiplied by delta G or K multiplied by delta X. Okay. Or K multiplied by delta T or K multiplied by delta M. I told you that multiplier is a process which explains the change in income due to the change in any of the injection variables or any of the withdrawal variables or the leakage variables. So the value of multiplier always depends on the value of MPC, and then with the change in the variables, that is delta I or delta T or delta G or delta M, you will decide the value of M. You will decide the value of Y, right? That is income. So you define multiplier as 1 upon 1 minus MPC or 1 upon MPS. That means the value of multiplier depends on marginal propensity to consume or marginal propensity to save. And through these two formulas, you can very clearly say that higher the value of MPC, higher the value of MPC, higher will be multiplier. And higher the value of MPS, lower will be the value of multiplier. Why? Because saving is a leakage. So higher is the leakage, lower will be the value, lower will be the change in income. Higher the injection, higher will be the value of changed income or the new income. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, one more thing which maybe we have discussed, value of multiplier ranges between 1 you can always write like this, infinity, that means value of multiplier is either 1 or it can go up to infinity. So it ranges between 1 and infinity. Why it ranges between 1 and infinity? Because value of MPC ranges between 0 and 1. Okay. So if value of multiplier, if value of MPC becomes 0, the value of multiplier will become 1. If the value of MPC becomes 1, then the value of multiplier will become infinite. Okay, so there is a clear relationship between MPC and value of multiplier. And why Keynes is explaining this, or why Keynes believes that the value of multiplier directly depends on the value of marginal propensity to save, marginal propensity to consume, because he believes that C is a function of Y. So because C is a function of Y, so as the proportion of consumption increases in the income, the value of multiplier will be high and high. Okay. Now, after understanding this, we can talk about types of multiplier. Okay. So the first multiplier which I must have told you, that is known as investment multiplier or simple multiplier. Investment multiplier. The second type of multiplier which we are talking about here is government expenditure multiplier. Government expenditure multiplier. The third type of multiplier which we will be talking about is tax multiplier. Fourth is balanced budget multiplier. And the fifth one will be import multiplier. So generally we talk about these 5 types of multiplier. Originally, this concept was given by A.E. Kahn, and who talked about the employment multiplier. But when Keynes is using the concept of multiplier, Keynes discusses 5 types of multiplier. Okay. Now, if you go by the formula is very simple. Investment multiplier means delta y is equal to 1 upon 1 minus C, that is MPC, multiplied by delta I, that is change in investment. If you go by government expenditure, then delta y is equal to 1 upon 1 minus C into delta G. So if we will talk about government expenditure multiplier, we will assume that investment remains constant. Now, what is the difference between investment multiplier and government expenditure multiplier? Investment multiplier is always related to a two-sector economy, where investment is all private sector investment. There is no government intervention, laissez-faire economy. But if we are talking about a three-sector economy, where government also exists as an economic agent, so government expenditure multiplier. This is not government investment multiplier, but government expenditure multiplier. Okay. Now, tax multiplier, the formula of tax multiplier is, please pay attention to this. Balanced budget multiplier. Balanced budget multiplier is minus C, 1 minus C into delta T plus 1 upon 1 minus C into delta G is equal to 1. Okay, this is balanced budget multiplier. Please pay attention to this. We will understand this in detail. Balanced budget multiplier is the summation of government expenditure multiplier and tax multiplier. And then the last multiplier, that is import multiplier. So 1 upon 1 minus C plus M into delta X. Is it okay for everyone? Is everyone able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now tell me that have we discussed the government expenditure multiplier in detail in the last?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No. No, ma'am.
But is everyone in the class able to understand the investment multiplier? How do you derive it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me if I need to repeat this. You all understand the investment multiplier, right? How do you derive this? Okay, so because no one is saying anything, so I am believing that you understand this. Now try to pay attention to this. You will say that if it is a three-sector economy, so when I say three-sector economy, we are saying y is equal to C plus I plus G and y is equal to C plus S plus T. Now you know this, that C is consumption, I is investment, that is the private investment, G is government expenditure, C is again consumption expenditure, S is savings, T is taxes. Okay. Now, how do we define all these? Now, assume that all taxes are lump sum. Lump sum means the taxes are imposed in a given quantity, in a fixed quantity. So you say T is equal to T0. So that means the tax is imposed in a fixed amount, say 100 rupees, 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. Irrespective of your income, you are paying a fixed amount of taxes to the government. Okay. Now, how do you write your C? And you remember that when we talk about three sector economy, then YD, that is disposable income, is equal to personal income plus personal taxes. Okay. That's how we define our disposable income. So now what you will do? C, that is consumption, is equal to C0 plus C Y minus T. Okay. Now you are writing like this. C is equal to C0 plus C Y minus T. Why Y minus T? Because YD is equal to Y minus T. So in the previous, when we were writing in the previous multiplier, that is investment multiplier, you were writing C is equal to C0 plus CY because there were no taxes. But now because taxes are there, so this Y is actually Y minus T. So that's how you have to write C is equal to C0 plus CY minus T. Okay, if you simplify here, maybe you will get this C0 plus CY minus CT. Okay, so this was the first variable. Now S is equal to minus S0 plus SY. Then I is I0 because I is autonomous, G is autonomous, so G is G0. Okay, that's how you are talking about the derivation. So now what do you do? If Y is equal to C plus I plus G, then delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta I plus delta G. Now we are assuming for some time that only G changes. I remains constant. So there is no change in I, but government expenditure changes. So now what will happen? Delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta G because you have assumed that delta Y remains constant. Okay, now how do you write delta C? Delta C is equal to C0 plus C delta Y minus T, or C0 plus C delta Y minus C delta T. Why you are doing this? Because you are saying C is equal to C0 plus C y minus t, or C0 plus Cy minus Ct. So if there is any change in y, so these two terms will change. Okay. Now delta y is equal to C0 plus C delta y minus C t. If the taxes are not changing, then it will be Ct. If the taxes are changing, then it will be C delta t plus delta g. If change in tax is 0, only g changes. Okay. So now delta y is equal to C0 plus C delta y minus Ct plus delta g. So because this is not changing, so we will put this as 0. So you will say delta y is equal to C delta y plus delta g. Okay. Now try to solve this because these two terms are common. So delta y minus C delta y is equal to delta g, or you will write as 1 minus C delta y is equal to delta g, or you will write delta y is equal to 1 upon 1 minus C into delta g. Okay. So this is the formula for government expenditure multiplier. Government expenditure multiplier. If only G is changing, there is no change in taxes, but it is only G is changing. Now, suppose C is equal to 0.75 and delta G is equal to 50. So you have to find out delta Y. Okay. So what do you do?
मैम प्लीज वंस अगेन बैक वाला फिर से कर दीजिए।
क्या कह रहे हो बेटा?
मैम बैक स्लाइड वाला फिर से एक बार दिखा दीजिए।
ये कह रहे हो?
यस मैम।
हाँ,
हो गया मैम।
ठीक है।
मैम एक बार इसके प्रीवियस वाली साइड भी वो करिएगा, ओपन करिएगा। मैम यहाँ पे पर्सनल स्टार्टिंग में हमने YD इज इक्वल टू पर्सनल इनकम प्लस पर्सनल टैक्सेस लिखा है, तो वहाँ पे माइनस पर्सनल टैक्सेस होगा।
YD, हाँ बिल्कुल ठीक बात कही तुमने। YD यहाँ पर प्लस की जगह माइनस होना चाहिए। पर्सनल इनकम माइनस पर्सनल टैक्सेस। यस, वेरी करेक्ट। So please everyone correct this. Disposable income is equal to personal income minus personal taxes. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, the slide in which you have told about the limit of multiplier 0 between and infinity, there the sign is not correct between k and infinity.
Okay. So is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Thank you again. So that's how, please be attentive, okay? So value of multiplier ranges between 1 and infinity because value of MPC ranges between 0 and 1. So now if we have the values, see, suppose certain values are given to you, you know the formula, and then you have to calculate what is delta y. You know the formula that delta y is equal to 1 upon 1 minus c into delta g. Okay. So this is very simple. You can find out easily. Delta y is equal to 1 upon 1 minus 0.75 into 25 into 50. Okay. So if you will solve this, delta y is equal to 1 upon 0.25. Why? Because 1 minus 0.75 will be equal to 0.25 into 50. So 1 upon 0.25 will be equal to 4. So 4 into 50. So that means 4 into 50 is equal to 200. So if delta G is equal to 50, then delta Y is equal to 200. So that means if government expenditure changes by 50 units, income changes by 200 units. Now this is very important because Keynes is trying to explain that if you change any of the autonomous variable, which is an injection variable, either government expenditure or either investment expenditure, there will be a huge increase in income. And you can very well see that change in income is much greater than the change in government expenditure. You have changed the government expenditure only by 50 units, but the income has changed by 200 units, and that is what is multiplier. Multiplier brings a multiple changes in income due to any change in G or I. Okay, now you can use this diagram to explain the same thing. A 45-degree line where y is equal to c plus s plus t, or you will you can write like this, or you can also write like aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Okay. Now say this is C, this is C plus I. There can be another line which is C plus I plus G. And then you are talking about C plus I plus delta G. Okay. So the vertical distance between these two lines will be equal to delta G because it is an autonomous variable. But when you change the G by this distance, see what is happening with I. What is happening with Y. So Y increases from Y1 to Y2, and this distance is delta Y. So you can show through the diagram that delta y is greater than delta g. And as you change the autonomous variable, the income level will keep on increasing. So here on this side you have taken CIG and here you have taken Y. You know that this is the point, say, this point, this is the point where C is just equal to Y. That means there is no savings taking place. It is only consumption which is taking place out of the income. Then this is a point where where Y is equal to C plus I. That means investment is also taking place, saving is also taking place. But now you are introducing a third variable, that is government expenditure. And that's how you have a higher level of income. So as you increase, as you expand the sector, this was only consumption, so the income level was very low. But as you increase the level of injections with the economy, that means investment takes place, so income rises. As you increase the government intervention, again income rises. But if you increase the government expenditure in a given time period, it will bring a multiple increase in income. Is it okay? Is everyone able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Any
Yes, ma'am.
questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, in the graph, it will be C plus I plus G plus delta G.
Okay. Very good. So let me correct this. So C plus I plus G plus delta G. Any question? Anything which is not clear? Now there is one more thing here, that as far as I and G are concerned, they are same. Okay. Either it is the private investment or either it is the government expenditure. It creates the same impact for the economy. If you increase I by 50 units, again it will bring a 200 unit change in income. Or if you change the government expenditure by 50 units, it will again bring the same increase in income. So the argument which Keynes is trying to tell us is that during the time of depression, when private investment is not increasing, private investors are not investing. Why? Because they do not have positive expectations about the economy, or the prices and profits in the economy are moving in the downward direction. So what is the possible way out? The possible way out is that government should intervene, government should increase the expenditure, because it will again create a multiplier effect. So every time when private investment is going down in the economy, government should increase the government expenditure in order to increase the income level. Now, as the income level will rise with change in income, in the next time period, C will rise, S will rise. If S is rising, I will rise. And that's how the economy will move to a new path of income. Okay, so this was Keynesian suggestion to bring the economy out from the depression state. So higher the level of government expenditure, higher will be the increase in income. Okay, but now because we are talking about a three-sector economy, in a three-sector economy, there will be not only G, but there will be taxes as well as transfer payments. So transfer payments are always an injection because it increases the disposable income, and taxes are always, if the taxes goes up, it is always a leakage. And the taxes can also be of two types. See, one is lump sum taxes. That means you are saying T0. Another is the income-based taxes. So that means this will be written as TY. Okay. So T taxes is equal to T0 plus TY. Taxes can be lump sum taxes, which does not depend on the level of income, and taxes which depends on the level of income. So this will create different impact on the multiplier process. Okay, and that we will understand in the tomorrow's class. So we'll meet tomorrow for the class.
Thank you, ma'am.